Howdy, y'all. Gonna have a nice hearty breakfast. Let's get to it. A little bit of a time lapse, cutting everything up, getting everything nice and ready. We have some russet potatoes this time instead of red potatoes. My red potatoes in the garden have not been taken, unfortunately. And then cutting up some sweet onions. Gonna be getting some bell peppers and some tomatoes cut up. But doing the tomatoes is actually gonna be a little different. What I'm going to be doing is I'm going to cut them in half and then scoop out the insides with a spoon, cut up the insides, and we're using those later. So make sure you watch out for that in the video because it's going to add some extra flavor and texture to the meal. So I'm going to get everything frying up. I am using 2 skillets for 2 burners, and unfortunately one of them goes kaput. So then everything's going back down to 1 skillet as you'll have seen in the past, but that's going to be perfectly fine. We can handle that, and it's still going to be a great meal. So we're just going to keep chugging along and get to it. With the bell pepper, I am being sure to add just a little bit of pepper and a little bit of salt, just so that it gives a slight amount of flavor, but I want the flavor of the bell pepper to be standing out. I don't want it to be too pungent, that's why I'm sauteing them here, but also I do want some of the original flavor with it. So that last bit of potato, just trying to get it to cook, and then going to be turning this over and over, getting things nice and browned, and going to get nice and crunchy before putting it on the plate, so that way you still have plenty of flavor to accent the potatoes and the rest of the meal. All of our other vegetables have been thrown in, and y'all may say, well, I don't see the tomato in there. Tomato is actually a fruit, so no, it is not thrown in there. But everything is getting thrown together. Put some butter in there, get it kind of sauteing, and to where it's almost going to caramelize, but not quite. Getting the flavors to cook out some the harshness, and just kind of get a little bit of a buttery mix in there, because that's going to help in this next step when we scoot everything over to the side. And guess what we're going to be putting in here? Take a guess, our tomatoes. So what I'm actually planning on doing is just crisping up the outside a little bit, flipping them over so that way the skin is cooked a little bit, and then going to put the eggs and vegetables on top. And this way it provides a little bit of a cup for some of the eggs. It's going to provide plenty of juiciness. When you bite into the eggs, it's going to have a lot of that juice coming out, but not to where it's too much and feeling too raw, to where it's juice all over the place and just limp. It's going to be cooked a little bit. So I'm going to have to try and work on the timing just so that they're not falling apart to where they're going to be turning into a paste. Because if you leave it in here a little bit too long, it'll almost turn into a tomato paste like what you get out of the jars and out of cans. So as y'all can see, I'm just going to be flipping them over, getting it cooked a little bit. I'm going to keep moving them around just so that it's not in one spot too long, because I don't want them to be limp. I want them to have their hardness. I want them to be a bit of a shell. And just keep moving around and experimenting. I have not done this before, so I'm just trying it out. Obviously not trying to mix all the vegetables with it right now, so just flipping those over so they don't cook too much on any one piece. Continue to move these around a little bit, just so that it doesn't make the whole thing fall apart, because it will do that. As y'all can see, it started on the smaller piece, but that's fine. The rest are absolutely perfect. Just going to be scooping those out, and we'll continue on with the rest of the meal. Everything is moved over again, so that way bacon bits can be added. This way it's going to provide some meat, some extra grease in there, not adding extra oil, but the grease is going to be coming out of the bacon bits. And just going to have this cooking a little bit, get a little bit of crunchiness in there. I don't like it when it's super limp, because when you get the bacon bits, they're not bad, but gotta have some coffee here. They're just not crispy enough. I love crispy bacon, so I try and crispy them up some and then mix them with everything else, so that way the bacon grease adds flavor to the vegetables add flavor to the bacon. Everything mixes together in perfect harmony and just wonderful burst of flavor in the mouth from all of this. Second to last being added is just the rest of the tomato bits. So this is the insides that was chopped up earlier. It's just the inside that was scooped out with a spoon, chopped up, and just going to continue breaking it apart. That way the juices are coming out. It's going to add flavor, add moisture, and it's almost a oily moisture. So like when y'all cut tomatoes, it's a little bit watery, but some of it's gooey, and that's going to add some stickiness to everything. It's going to keep it all together, which is great. Adding the eggs and milk together with the rest of the stuff in the skillet. It's just going to be mixed together to where it's slowly cooking the eggs and to where it's mixed evenly with everything. And so it's not going to cook the eggs super duper fast, because I don't want it to stay clumped up and then all the vegetables and bacon to stay clumped up either. I want it all mixed together to where it's cooking around everything. So as it's all being mixed together and cooking, it's going to be about time to just put on the plate and just add everything together to where it's just a huge burst of flavor, from the potatoes to the bell peppers. We got our tomato cups. Again, I had not done that before. I'm just really excited for the burst of flavor, because I know it's going to be great. And there's all the vegetables, the bacon bits, the eggs. It's just going to be a perfect combination. What I'm doing here is just adding a little culinary art to the top, just having some of the bell peppers laid across, just so it looks nice. It's not just all clumped together on the side. And it turned out really good. It was absolutely delicious. The burst of flavor from everything, but then the tomato cups holding the eggs. It was just really, really good. I was so happy with it. I'm definitely going to be doing this again. I'm going to try and tweak some things. There are some things I'd like to improve on, but it did turn out really good. I was very happy with it. So I will keep you all updated if I'm doing this again soon, but it was absolutely fantastic. I highly recommend y'all trying it. And if something doesn't turn out, don't worry. There's always ways to fix things, to improve on things, even if it's the next go around. There's nothing wrong with that. I've burned many things. I've had things that just didn't taste right at all and got tossed. So don't worry about it. If there's things that don't turn out, you can always try again. Hope y'all enjoy it, and I'll see y'all in the next video.